Hi, I'm Jana Heath, and it's time to spring into action. Welcome to my April Fitness Challenge calendar tutorial. We're going to get started. So every day you have 2 exercises to complete. You're supposed to complete them for 1 minute each every day. Now, my suggestion to you is you could turn this into an extended workout by doing 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, Tabata style every day. So you could take the 2 exercises and you could do the 2 exercises back to back for 8 rounds and get a nice 4-minute hard-hitting workout. Or you can just do each exercise 1 minute every day. Okay, so let's take the challenge. Let me show you your first exercise. So we're either going to do jumping jacks, which are here. I know there's a glare, my apologies. Or plank jacks. I'm going to do 20 seconds worth with you just to get you started. So these are plank jacks, or you can stand up and do jumping jacks. If you can't jump at all, you can just step and tap out to the side. Okay, so there's lots of options for you to do. If you're doing your plank jacks, you can also put your hand on an object and do it right here so that you're not as low. If you've got a wrist issue, you can always put your hands on some weights. You know, do something like that. I'm sorry, I know the glare is terrible, but you'll get the idea. The next exercise are squat jumps. Your modification for those, so squat jumps are here, you're jumping, are step ups. So you can find a step and you can just step up and down for the minute, okay? Here we go. Now, if you are doing step ups and you don't have a step, you could use a very low chair. You could keep going, the edge of your step treadmill maybe. Just find something that's low enough that you're not going to hurt yourself. Or if you need a challenge, you can find something a little higher. Good. You can also march in place if you needed to. That's on Sundays. On Mondays, you're going to do push-ups. That's arms. So every day it's cardio arms, abs, cardio legs, glutes, full body. We're on arms, so we can do push-ups. So as you know, the regular push-up I'll do with you in a second, but you can modify and come to a bench like this and do them off of your couch or something like that. You can go to a wall, and you can just put your hands against the wall and press like that. You can go down to your knees right here, or you can come up to your toes. Let's do a few together. So make sure that your back is flat, you're pushing all the way down, your abs are in tight, and you're going nice and slow. Now, if you start out at the beginning of the month and you can't get through the full minute, then what do? You just stop and you start and you stop and you start. You do as many as you can. And you say, okay, I got through 20 seconds. Next time, maybe I'll get through 25 seconds, and you try and build it up. Next are tricep dips. You can do them right on the floor here. If you do, you're in a crab style and your fingertips are forward and you're dipping down and up. You can also do them off of a bench, a step, a chair, a couch, something like that, like I'm going to do here. I'm going to dip down. Again, if you've got a wrist issue, you could do one of 2 things. You could grab a pair of weights and put your hands on the weights, keeping your wrists strong. Or you could do tricep kickbacks, which I'll show you in 1 second. So I'm trying to make these calendars so you don't need weights, unless there's a specific month where we're working with weights. Otherwise, you could grab weights, bend at the waist here, and reach your arms. I know that glare is terrible. That sun, blasted sun, right here. To get a curtain for that. Okay, next we've got abs, flutter kicks. Excuse me. So for flutter kicks, you're going to come to the floor. If you can, your hands are going to be behind your head and your head is up. If you cannot, your head will be down, your arms will be out to the side or down by your hips. The question I always get is it okay to put my hands under my hips to support my back? Yes, for now. You want to try and work on taking the hands out from under the hips so that your abs are doing the work. You want your abs to support your back so you don't have that pain. So for fluttering, you're going to be down here. We're going to start. But if you're having trouble, my modification is a single leg drop right here. That way you're not putting pressure on the back. So I would choose that over, having to really support your back for the flutter kicks. If you're having back strain, it's not appropriate to do the exercise. So you can take your legs up higher, but I would suggest doing these, the single leg drop right here. And again, you can put your head down or keep it up for a little bit more of a challenge. Okay? The next are V-ups. So if I'll show you the V-up, and then I'll show you the modification. So a V-up just means you roll up, sort of roll up, and bring your legs up at the same time so that you form, you know, the shape of a V. So you come up like this. And then you go back down, just like that. Okay? So that's a V-up. Now, a modification would be just to roll up, and you can do a few things. You could just roll up here, practice your roll-ups, okay? Or you can roll up and lift a leg up. Maybe you can do that, but you can't get both legs up. And if you're still having trouble with both, if you can't roll up, I want you to practice. So I want you to practice by bending your knees and sort of helping yourself come as far as you can and then pull the rest of the way. Okay, so that'll be something for you to practice. So let's do a few of the V-ups together, for those of you who are doing the V-up. Now, can you bend your knees? Sure, you can bend your knees. It's not a V-up anymore, it's a roll-up knee tuck, but that's okay. If that's where you're at, you can't get your legs straight, but you can bend the knees. And I mean, a little bend is fine. You know, my legs are not perfectly straight here. You know, you see, they look pretty straight. So those are your ab exercises. Now we move on to our second set of cardio, mountain climbers, which, excuse me, you know me, you do the mountain climbers all the time, so you're very familiar. Let me just mention that you can do them, so you're pulling your knees into your chest, alternating legs. Now, you can do them slow like this, but I prefer to get your heart rate going and do them fast. You can do them on an elevated surface, like a bench, or a chair, or a couch, or you can stand up and do a high knee jog or a march if your wrists are a problem. So if you find that being on your wrists is a problem, stand up and just jog in place, get those knees up, keep the heart rate going, or march high knees, get them up there. If you can't jump and do that jogging, getting those knees up is great. An extra tip though is if you want to do that, raise your arms over your head, either pump them or leave them. If you raise your arms over your head, much like how we're going, we're face down here, both positions will get your cardio up, your cardiorespiratory system pumping a little bit more. So if you see people walking around with their arms over their head, that's why. They know the secret. So if you're taking a walk one day, you can always just raise your arms over your head now and then, get your heart rate going a little bit more. Same with this. That's why we're down here in the prone position. Gets your cardio pumping a little bit more. So if you're standing up and you're marching as hard as you can, raise those arms up and give you a little bit extra kick. Okay? And then we stand up and we do butt kicks, I believe, yes. So again, butt kicks are like this, but if you can't jump, you're gonna give me these, okay? So Jane Fonda style. Kick your butt. I like to put my hands back and actually tap my hands with my heels, so I know my heels are going forward, my feet are going, or excuse me, my legs are going back, my heels are going back, not like up here for jogging. Okay, we have got glutes. So, elevated bridges. Now, when you read the tutorial, you'll see I have an extra challenge. So I'm going to demonstrate that as well. So, if you can, you're going to put your feet on something that's elevated. If you can't, just put your feet on the floor. So, I'm choosing this step right here. And all you're doing is you're lifting your hips up as high as you can and down. Now, one thing I want to mention is, a lot of us don't get up as high as we can. So we stay in flexion, which we don't want. We want to get all the way up, squeeze those glutes, get up high, 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 and then come down. Okay, so take your time. Now for the added challenge, I'm adding a weighted hip thrust. So I take my weight. You can take a weight, a dumbbell like this, a barbell, anything, a medicine ball, and I put it right on my hip bones, right on my hips. And I hold it there with my hand so it doesn't roll, and I lift up as high as I can, still squeezing, and come down. So that's the extra challenge. Here we go. Now, if you have more time and you want to do a few minutes, you can always do a single leg bridge on each leg. You could do that if you'd like. But I'm trying to keep it so that you only have to do 2 minutes a day if you choose for this challenge. Okay? Like I said in the beginning, you can turn this into a more intense workout by doing it Tabata style. 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, switching between the two. The run are the... Oh, I skipped the leg day. I'm sorry. We'll finish glutes and go back to leg day. I missed a day. I like butt, so you know. Slow skaters. So, the slow skaters are a skate, which you step to the side and you cross, okay? But you go slow and you lift you get that hand on the ground and you lift that leg behind you. So a regular skate, you'd be going like here, here, here. I want you to go here and lift, here, lift. I mean, go as, you know, fast as you can, but I don't want to see speed. I want to see the quality of it. So I want you to touch the ground and lift this leg. Now, if you can't, you do regular skater and just tap and tap. The more you can cross that leg, the better. I'm going to try and stay out of the glare. We're using together. So the more I can get down and cross and lift that leg. So if I can do this slow skate the proper way, I'm lifting that leg up and I feel it right here in my butt. So just like that. So see, I'm getting that leg up there. Okay, let's go back. Sorry, I skipped leg day, of course. How could I do that? You've got a wall sit first. So you're going to follow me to the wall. Hopefully you can see me here. I'm going to turn the camera just a little bit so you can see me. I don't want to go to that back wall because I don't have a lot of actual wall space. So I'm going to go to the wall and I'm going to put my back against the wall and I'm going to scooch all the way down. So my legs are at 90. So sit way down and we're going to sit here. My back is against the wall, my abs are pulling in, and I'm supporting my body. Now, in the beginning, you might only be able to do 20 seconds that we're going to do here together. And then maybe by the end of the month, you can work up to the minute. This isn't easy. I mean, it's easy because you just don't do anything. You sit here, but it's not easy to hold. So this is a great exercise because you can do it anywhere. And it's really intense right there. Okay, the next exercise we have on leg day, which are actually on Thursdays. Skip to Friday because you know that's what everyone wants to do. Runner start lunges. Okay, so the runner start lunge. You're down in a crouch position. You want to try and keep your heels on the floor here, and you step back into a lunge. Okay, and then you step forward and you step back. So I keep alternating right here. Okay, now you can put your hands on an elevated surface and try it and do it that way. That might be easier for you to start with, because you've got a little bit more leverage. So you see here, I'm down in this crouch. So if I can keep my hands on the floor, that's ideal. Here we go. So I'm lunging down, stepping forward. Now, again, let me emphasize, your heels need to stay down on the floor. Okay, I'm not going into my toes. The key is keeping my heels down. Putting your hands up here will give you a little more leverage. Worst case, I will show you. Worst case, you go into a back lunge. So you're stepping back into your lunge. You're stepping back into the lunge right here. That's your modification. Let me just turn this again. Okay, so moving to the last day, Saturdays, which we actually start them on a Saturday, but it made more sense to do it this way. We've got full body. So 2 exercises that will hit your entire body, burpees and plank. So I know you hear the word burpee and you freeze, but that's okay. You can do this modified style. So a regular burpee is we come down to the floor. We're not doing like a CrossFit style burpee. You go to your chest. You just jump out into the plank. Okay, just like this. You jump back in and you jump up. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do with you together. If you want to modify, you come to the step or bench, chair, couch, and you jump out, you jump in, and you come up here, right? You can also come down and step out and in, and come up, right? So there's a couple of things you can do that way. Now, another thing is if you just absolutely cannot get down and up like that, it's just not happening for you, that's not where your fitness level is. Now, because you're lazy, just because that's not where your fitness level is right now, then what you're going to do is you're going to lunge, lunge, squat, squat. Now, if for some reason you are not supposed to be lunging and squatting, just shoot me a message and I will help you modify it. There's a million things you can do, okay? You don't have to do something that's going to hurt your body. You should do something that's going to challenge you, not hurt your body. Let's do some burpees. So again, just message me, leave me a comment down below, or find me, janaheath.com, and I will help you. You can also like me on Facebook and leave me a comment there, because that's another quick way to get a hold of me. It's no gym, no excuses. No gym, no excuses. And then the plank. So with the plank, pretty simple and straightforward. You're either going to do it on your toes or your knees. You're going to do them on your forearms and elbows. I ask that you don't do the yoga one for this one if you can help it. I want to see you on you're in a forearm plank. It's a little bit more challenging for your core, and that's the key. It's full body. This takes a lot of the weight right here. We don't want that. We want your core to take most of the weight. So if you're doing them on your toes, you're here, okay? Keep everything flat. You don't want to dip down. You don't want to lift up. This is not a plank. I cannot accept that, okay? If you're here, you need to come down to your knees. And here's a plank on your knees. Knees are bent, and you're right here. My back is still flat. So my position barely changes. The only change is that my knees are off the floor. Here we go. So we're going to hold right here. Now you've got a minute, so you can choose to do this plank any way you like. You can hold the plank here. You can challenge yourself and lift your leg up for 30 seconds. Leg up for 30 seconds. You can do where you lift your arm up. You can do where you drop your hips. You know, you can try and change it up if you like, or you can just sit here and hold the plank. Okay? So those are your exercises for the month. Now, I want to be very clear that doing these exercises every day is a great motivation. It will spring you into action. It will get you moving in the direction that you want to be when summer approaches. However, you've got to do a little bit more if you want to. You've got to try and eat the way that you need to support your body, and you've got to try and move a little bit more every single day. But these 2 exercises every day will definitely get you in the right direction. You will see some results, and I really applaud you for taking this challenge. I hope you have a fantastic day. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss all of my videos. And if you need to get in touch with me, Jana Heath, no gym, no excuses. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.